levels or whatever with the tiers.
This is such a good idea.
Let me go full straight. Okay, so S is like S, but I read, but it's life changing, but also could just be really entertaining, and should be read before dying, I think.
Okay, so if something hasn't been read, it can't actually get into S.
I don't think so. It's like because we don't know, right?
Yep.
And then maybe there's like S ... should it be? Could it be? If it was read.
Would that it were read.
Yeah, and then because it's like red tier, because this is like red. You know what I mean? If it was red, then if read.
Yep.
No. Yeah. Okay, and then A tier is like, this is like, oh wait, can you see all my tabs?
Yep.
Oh fuck.
Heated debate on pornography.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was trying to research some stuff for the book because a large part of it's about pornography, and I just wanted to see this like Jewish guy's take on it.
But wow! So you just listen to people who you don't even like just talk about things.
Yeah, because it's you need the broad spectrum.
That's crazy to me. That's awesome.
Shit. Okay, so then, all right, management agreement. You don't want to see that unknown therapy thing. Look, it's something I'm writing. Ooh, delete. Okay, there we go.
No, we lost all the progress.
It's deleted.
Do you write in
If I don't finish
Docs?
something, yeah, I switched to Google Docs from Word because I didn't want to pay for Word because Google Docs is free.
Oh,
but Google Docs has like it has so many problems with it. Like for the book that I'm writing, there's so many footnotes and like the formatting of it. If I press enter on a page that's like too high up, it'll screw the formatting of all the other pages and it'll make it crash. It like crashes like 12 times
Seriously?
every time I use it. Yeah, it's really annoying.
Oh, that's terrible.
Anyway, A is like A there, good read, a good read on Goodreads.
Wait, did you load in these? You loaded these in yourself?
Yeah, probably like a 4. Yeah.
How did you choose the classics?
So this is this is good. Actually, this is true. This is 4chan's list. This is like their lit list.
Ah, that's cool. Their most recent one?
I think it's because Harry Potter's in this, and that wasn't there before.
Is Mein Kampf in this?
I don't think so.
We'll see. Okay.
I can't. Yeah.
Oh, the Bible's in this. Okay. Yep. I think it's.
But yeah. Also, some of the because they formatted them squares, and a lot of books are rectangles. Like a lot of the titles are cut off, so it's like I don't know what this is.
Who is that?
I have no idea. I have to like look. Do I have anything?
Is it possible that's Proust? I don't know what Proust looks like.
Can you see these files that I'm bringing up?
No.
Okay, that's a hero of our time. So I'll just keep this key here.
I don't know what that book is, so that's interesting.
Neither. And also, when I did this, I didn't save any of the authors. So like, this is gonna be hell.
I like. Yeah, we can't do any googling.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Hey. Okay. So yes, there's like something you've read, and it's like good. It's like a solid book. Good book. A great book. B.
Crap.
Beware. Beware because you don't always get what you want in the A or S tier, but it's just fine. It's just fine. It's like fine. C. See you later. Because see you later.
So
we can discuss how this book is like fine but not great.
This is gonna be
at
so
all.
interesting. I feel like you need like 20 tiers because these are all really like. There's a lot of very unique things on here. Like, where are we gonna put Finnegan's Wake? There has to just be like a Finnegan's Wake
Yeah,
tier or something.
like a wanklical
Actually,
tier.
that's true.
Wank.
Yeah, there are some other ones that could fit in that same tier potentially. Or I don't know
There should
actually
be. What
on
about
this
like
list.
positive wank and negative wank?
But some of the positive wank is gonna be in the S, right? In the red tier.
I guess that's true, but I haven't read all the positive wank.
I think yeah, I think the way you're doing it is good. If we've got like 6 tiers, or I don't know how many you're gonna do, but like you just have to sort of smush some things together. Some that we've read, some that we
Yeah,
haven't. Yeah.
I think that's good. Have row below,
This
and then we'll
system,
do.
by the way, you have to like click
Yeah,
to add the row and then click back down to the. That is insane. This website is like
I
they could
know.
do so much better with the UX.
I totally agree. It's really shitty.
And the fact that like when you drag the images over, sometimes it doesn't put it in the spot you want. It's just like how that must be so simple. Just wherever the cursor is where the image goes.
Oh
Bro,
yeah,
try
it
to
should.
put that image between Heart of Darkness. Like if you just like or whatever, you know, like you have to. It's not the. Yeah, it's sometimes not the spot you want it to. Bro, yeah, the fact that you have to drag it like past the image to get it there, and it's like just put it where the cut. Look at that. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I know.
insane. Just, who did this? It's such a
I
simple
don't know.
thing, and you see every YouTuber is like struggling with it. Just like
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
so
know.
stupid. I agree. Yeah, and the row system, it's like, yeah, to change the color, you don't just press this thing. It
I
could be
know.
so easy by like
Yes,
pressing a little button to do
some
this
little
and then
hover
this.
thing comes up. Yeah, yeah, insane.
Disgusting. Not on. No, no words.
So there's two
No,
layers below D.
no, not another word.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Shut.
Yeah, yes. So this is like, yeah, these are like kind of bad books. Maybe there's like some good stuff in it, but
Yep.
maybe a little bit of good here and there.
I think this is supposedly the top 100 books of all time, and we've got 3 tiers that are just absolute arse. There's different levels of
uh,
arse.
E is like, uh, E is like exciting due to how shit this book is.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's a triumph
This is a good
of
way to.
horse manure.
Yep.
That could be. What do you think? I think like purple.
The worst color, or the second worst, apparently.
Yeah. And then this one is like Shadow Realm.
Why?
Shadow Realm fiction was made for the opposite of what these books provide.
I'm so interested in what's going to end up in these tiers.
There probably won't be much in the Shadow Realm. Also, it's going to be hard to read, which is like part of the Shadow Realm's appeal, I think.
I like that. I like tier lists that do that.
And maybe like one, like a couple,
Okay.
at least one below. Just like I haven't read, haven't read, haven't read, but looked highly. I'll put this higher. Looks highly readable.
I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, that's going to be like 80%. We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. It's probably going to be a pretty busy tier.
Yep.
Oh my god! I just want to move you up. There we go.
This system as well. Why can't you just drag it?
I know. I know. It's so annoying. Fuck. And then we'll make it violet.
I like that.
All right.
The
That's
8
pretty good.
colours
So
of the
like,
rainbow.
so should it couldn't be read. Oh, so this is kind of haven't read but looks highly readable. So maybe the delete, maybe just replace.
We'll see.
Okay.
Have to see.
Haven't read it. Yeah, I think that's everything. That's like covers most of it.
Yep. Well, yeah.
Okay, no,
I'm so interested.
1984. I think this is a This is A. This is a
So
good book.
okay, this is one of the yeah I've read this too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting book, and occasionally I think about it, but I don't think he's that good at the prose. I don't think his prose is that good. Like
Um,
just as a fiction writer, he's cool with the ideas and stuff, but like the characterization is just so like what?
I guess yeah, because it's so like everyone is kind of the same character except like like two people. It
Right.
maybe isn't that like it's not that diverse character wise. His prose reminds me of Fitzgerald's. It's like kind of fine. There's nothing really like
I don't know. I haven't read that much Fitzgerald. I think he's much better.
Fitzgerald's like he's more inventive, I think. Meaning, actually, no, I don't think that's true. He's not more inventive. He's more like flourishing, maybe a little bit. He'll give you more stuff, but it doesn't feel. 1984 feels like such a complete idea, such a complete concept. I'm thinking of The Great Gatsby when I think of Fitzgerald,
Yep.
which is like it's a good book, but it would probably be in the same category as 1984
Okay.
for
Interesting.
me. I really like the tone of 84. I think it's like it's got a great tone.
Definitely.
It's like
Definitely.
really
Yep.
really depressing, and there's like a paranoia in the book. Like you don't know who's watching who. It's like it's really effective
That's true.
tonally.
That is a good point.
I really like that, and I think as well. I also think the messaging is great. Um, it's quoted way too much by like 45-year-old grandmas, not even grandmas, like just women in their 40s being like, "Oh, the government's looking at my Facebook password." It's like it's a little bit like that,
That is
which
cool.
is
It was
annoying.
pretty forward thinking, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
it's definitely forward thinking. Yeah, I like Animal Farm better, but
I
this
personally
is
like this
fine.
better, but yeah.
Really
Yep.
interesting.
But yeah. Okay.
What do you think? Would you put it in like you wouldn't put it S
No,
or?
no. I think it's okay. I think you should have control over the tier list. But I
But
guess
I'm willing to be swayed, like for sure.
okay. Well, like I guess I would put it like B or something. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. See, for a classic, it's probably B. And also, I've read very few books, so of the ones I've read, they're mostly ones that I'm super interested in. So for me, it's like an
Okay.
average of the books that I've read. But I
Okay.
guess in regards to all books, it makes sense to have it at an A. Yeah,
I mean, like maybe we move it when we see
we should
what's
move.
here, but
We'll see.
A Clockwork Unreadable.
I haven't
No,
read it
this okay. It's I actually haven't finished this. Confession, I didn't finish this.
because it
I
sucks.
found a well. I think it is potentially good if you stick with it and have the patience for it. I found some of the slang. The slang was fine. Most of it was understandable because like you can get there with like question marks, you know, and like and responses just through context clues. You can understand what they're trying to say. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like me droogies, it's like clearly it's like my friends, you know, all this shit. It's like it's fine.
Madrongos.
Me bloody drongos.
Yeah.
The world is like fine. I wasn't that into the world that much.
Do you like the movie better?
I actually don't. I don't like the movie.
You don't like
I
either.
think he just. I actually it'd be interesting to do a movie and book tier list. That'd
Oh,
be like
cool.
much
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
But like the movie has way too many wide lenses, and I
Right.
Kubrick's wides are okay sometimes, but I feel like every fucking it's just too wide, and it I don't know.
It's like Kylo
That's just
Ren.
like a yeah, it's like Kylo Ren when he takes his shirt off. It's
Yeah.
very wide. Was my problem.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that interested in reading it now that you've said that. So there you go.
A portrait of the artist as a young man. I
Haven't
don't
read
know who
this.
wrote this. It
It's
probably looks
Joyce.
highly. Oh, it's Joyce.
I think
Ooh,
there's 4 Joyce books on this list. So yeah.
probably.
But yeah, I'm not that interested. I don't know for you. I haven't read. I think I read one of the short stories in Dubliners, or like 2, and it was just boring. So everything Joyce for me is just uninteresting. I'm not really interested. Yeah, I've never really looked into this book. I don't know what people say is the distinction, like why this is its own special thing compared to Ulysses. Like obviously Ulysses has a case for being one of the 100 best books ever. I don't know about this. Maybe he's just that good of a writer that anything he wrote. But yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
I think
yeah.
I think you're right.
Imagine
I
if
think with Joyce, it's like he's so different to every other writer. I think. Well, not really actually. He kind of birthed modernism, right? That was his thing. He was like the father of it. Um, but unfortunately, like everyone else, actually, I don't know if it's
it's true.
unfortunate that everyone else can't get what he did. Um, because he did it in such an insane, over the top, maximalist way. Um, especially in Ulysses.
Okay,
Uh, I don't know. Oh, actually, I don't know. Actually, I want to read this, but it doesn't look readable. Like,
I
you know
get
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. Well, like, is that a distinction? Like, if you're thinking about whether something's readable, does that influence how high up in your all-time favorite books it's going to end up? Because I think for you it doesn't really. If something's hard to read, it still might be in your top 5 books ever.
Yeah.
So maybe you should just
Depending on
change
what
the
effects.
yeah. But
So yeah, what are you suggesting that I change?
what is so this looks boring is actually above highly readable. So
Yeah, yeah. It should be like that.
okay, but like looks boring can't be fucked boo boo Radley is actually like really want to read, but seems difficult here. Is that what this
Oh
means?
yeah. I guess like just for the ease of access, it's in the middle of the tier list. It
Yeah.
probably belongs like boom, boom, boom.
Well, is that how you feel about the book? Like, I guess just like for you, it's like
A b-
Joyce's third best book, or I don't know, second best book. Do you think it's going to be one of your favorite books ever if you eventually got to
It
read it?
it like it. There's a possibility it might be, and I want to read it,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Then I think that's
I
fair.
guess like we need it. I guess it's here.
Yeah, let's just yeah, let's. That's just I want to read it too.
Or is
Always,
interestingly
I love the qualifiers.
lookingly interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That seems fair.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you? Ga 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 ga. Karenina. Anna Karenina. I think it is. Is it a poet? Is it poetical? Anna Karenina.
Hello, I'm back.
Anna
What?
Karenina.
What
Hello.
are you researching? What the fuck?
No, just the name, just Leo Tolstoy. So it's a Tolstoy book
Hmm.
because I didn't know who. Um,
Yeah, you want to read this
Tolstoy.
as well, right? I
I
bet.
don't know, man. Like it's not Tolstoy. It's like he was War and Peace, man, right?
Yeah.
Nah,
So you want to
nah.
read War
This
and Peace? Because my impression is that people online sort of argue about which is better. Like it might be either one. So if you want to read one of
Oh,
them, surely it's
really?
like yeah, yeah, I think so. I'm not sure where it ranks on the 4chan list, but
In that case, if it's that hotly debated, I would put it here in my. I just never heard of this book, so I'm not really interested. And it's also about a female character, so I'm
that's
not
true.
that interested.
I think War and Peace has a lot of girls in
Yeah,
it
but it's
too.
got like duchesses and dukes. It's got like a billion characters. It's like you can cling on to one. If this is just about Anna,
No,
I
I
don't know
think
Anna.
this will be similar. I'm not actually sure. Maybe War and Peace has like more scope or whatever. But this is also just a really long book about a bunch of people being like, I don't know, Russian. So
That is awesome.
yeah, I don't want to read this or War and Peace, but yeah,
You don't want to read War and Peace, bro?
no,
Come on.
looks boring.
No. Okay, that's fine. Beyond Good and Evil. Okay, so I really want to read this,
What is this?
and I think it. This is Nietzsche,
Oh, what? Okay. Oh, right. Okay.
and there's a chance it could be S because it could be from what I know tangentially about this book. It's apparently like unbelievably enlightening. The guy was a genius. He was way ahead of his time onto something about the death of God that is like I don't know, unbelievably profound. And I think if there's any insights to get from any of these books, this is going to be like one of the more insightful ones, probably.
Okay, cool.
I think it's got to be up there.
Sounds interesting.
But it is philosophy books, so
Yeah,
I
so I
don't
don't
really
want to.
read philosophy that much. But yeah, yeah, I bet you don't want to read it.
This is
This is
Candide.
Ponce. Yes, Candide. You knew
I have read this
Candide.
one because it's very short. It's one of the shortest books on this
Oh,
list, and yeah, so I was like, oh, easy.
how did you find Candide? And you can be candid about it.
Um, it was good. I don't think it's that influential in my thinking. I don't really think about it that often, but it was fairly easy to read. And yeah,
Would you say like a B, or would you say see you later? We can
I
discuss the book that it's fine, but not great at all.
um I'd say B. I actually quite liked it. I think he's a good writer. Um, yeah.
Okay.
So maybe I'd say like on the same tier as 1984, but like I don't know.
Quick synopsis though.
It's like so it's trying to make a point. It's very obviously like a pointed book about like so the main character's like I guess his tutor or something says to him like this is the best of all possible worlds, which was apparently some philosophical take that was in France at the time. And then the whole rest of the book is him just being fucked over by life and just it's just trying to very obviously make the point that like this is not the best possible world. It's like whatever's going up in heaven, he's not trying to make the best possible world. There's a shit ton of suffering, and it doesn't have to be that way. That's kind of the point, I guess. And then
Interesting.
it's just a huge amount of episodes of just, and there's hardly any characterization, but it's just very well written, and it's like it's got jokes, and so yeah,
Is the story arc is just him being optimistic at the start and then him turning into a pessimist or quote
kind
unquote
of
realist?
just getting
Okay.
fucked over and over, just awful things. Oh, but there's some cool shit. It's some shit that Nathan would like because there's just some scenes where just like weird shit happens. So yeah, it's decent. It's almost like, bro, this is when Nick Mullen just goes on some improv bit and it just goes so far and there's so many extra little elements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like that as a
Yeah.
book almost. It's
That
just
that
like
is that's kind of like beckoning to be A then.
I think
But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think it definitely deserves a is interestingly lookingly interesting.
Awesome. Actually, how short is like 100 pages?
Bro, it's very short. I not sure how many pages, but like it's like Animal Farm length or something.
Oh, yeah, okay, great.
It's like a
Actually,
novella.
I might get that. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, fair. Da-da-da, Dubliners. This one looks like hell to read, and I also don't want to read it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Same. It was
I think, yeah.
yeah. I read either one or two of the short stories, and they were both boring. One of them, there's like I don't remember anything. One of them there's like a coffin involved. One of them, it's like a girl who goes to the shops, or maybe a guy who goes to the shop and he has a crush on a girl. It's just like what, this doesn't mean anything. I mean, it probably means
Okay.
something, but it's like it's just beyond me. I don't know. This is like literature.
Yeah, I feel like with a lot of these books here, it's like there could be something really grand and interesting, but the way that the information is conveyed, it's so wankish. It's like keeping you at arm's length. At arm's wank.
That's good.
It's keeping you at arm's wank.
That's good.
Okay, what's this one? Skeety,
I don't know.
skeety, skeety, but down, skeety, but down, down. Dead Souls.
All
Uh,
right.
haven't heard.
This is the Stendhal, right? I think. Oh no, that's the red and black. This is some other. Oh, this is like Gogoi or something. This is a Russian, another sad Russian. There's so many sad
I'm
Russians.
just Dead Souls. Uh, Pavel Ivanovich Chichikov. Yeah,
So that's the character.
that's the character by Nikola. Yeah, Gogol. Nikolai.
Got him. Yeah, another sad
Uh,
Russian. Are you interested in reading what? Probably the eighth best sad Russian book? Maybe
like
sixth.
I know Brothers Karamazov is going to be like the best sad Russian book. I think.
Okay.
Um, this doesn't look that interesting to me, but it doesn't look boring. It's just like it looks fine.
Hmm.
So for that reason, I guess it's probably B.
Hmm. I
I
don't know.
think.
I don't know anything about this book.
Actually, maybe yeah. Oh, we need another tier. One more.
The sad Russian tier.
I have no opinion.
Yeah,
I am dirt.
I am but dust.
Johnny Cash.
How many are we in? We've done
1, 2, 3,
eight.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep.
Okay, cool.
And there's a lot. There's 100. So
Yeah.
buckle in.
Hell yeah.
Bucko. All right, bitty bitty. What's this one? Was you? Was you?
Which one are we looking at?
Actually, I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick one.
Okay.
We're doing Slaughterhouse Five. Oh man, do I have opinions on this book? I know you do as well.
Yeah.
Um, there are large portions of this book that rule, that are really, really good,
Hmm.
that are like incredible. The beginning sucks. The like forward, it's basically a forward,
Oh
but
my
it's not.
god, it's the worst shit ever. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so
That is
bad. It
so cringy
devalues
and annoying.
everything that come after it. I hate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just talking about
Um,
the way that you wrote the book. Like, yeah. Tough.
yeah, it's like all the wanky stuff the writer wish they could put in, but doesn't because they think better of it. Kurt just
Yeah.
puts it in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but like historically, it's super interesting. Like the bombing of Dresden, it's really interesting. Also, the alien parts I found like scintillating. It was so fascinating. It's such a whole idea. Like him going back and forth, crashing into the mountain, but that not being the end of the book. It's like being in the middle. It's like I don't know. I think so much of this book is good. It's just unfortunate that the start is so bad.
Yeah. For me, yeah, the start is bad, and then the rest is just, I would say, readable. It's like fine, but I don't really. What's so good about the alien stuff? I don't really know what's happening there.
Well, like the whole thing is with them. I think it's he's trying to talk about the value of life, and to these aliens, it's like they see time and they see death as it's just being sort of commonplace. It's part of life. They don't. It's pretty nihilistic actually. Now the more that I think about it, because the aliens they say that thing so it goes like a
Yeah.
hundred times, but the guy writing the book, it's like it's unclear who's right. And like it's from the perspective of him that he's in the mess with them as well. Kurt, I
Hmm.
think, like it's written from his perspective or something.
Yeah.
Um, and I think the aliens provide a sort of like really sad, almost morose description of the world and life and time passing, as well as being sort of fantastical and weird. Like the descriptions of them, there's the hands, and they're like there's like what do they look like? Toilet plungers with hands on top of them with like an eye coming out or something like that. Is how they're described in the book or something. And it is interesting. It's like really jarring because it's comparing sort of the weird alien stuff with like the very real world war stuff, and I love that. I love that. I don't want to use juxtaposition too much because I will just like
Hmm.
use that
Sure.
word wantonly.
Yeah.
But I love that stuff. I think it's really cool.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
I also love the zoo parts. Like he's left in a zoo, the alien zoo part. That's awesome.
Hmm.
They're like, yeah, it's a good book. Um, okay, this one we're leaving.
Okay.
Ulysses. Okay, haven't read, but it doesn't look highly readable. It looks unreadable,
Hmm.
but I really, really want to read it all.
Yeah, I don't want to read this. So
Why not? It's like it's such a like I climbed Mount Everest book.
I
That's
know. I just don't
awesome.
want to climb Mount Everest, really.
Ah,
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah. I.
I
D-
mean, fair. I'm desperately looking for someone who wants to read it, so I don't have to read it alone. But
yeah.
yeah,
You have to find some other boyfriends.
yeah, it's no one reads. Riley Teese might give it a go, but there's no way he
That'd be
finishes
great.
it.
Yeah, yeah. You guys should just have a two-man book club. That is just like, yeah, because yeah, or maybe at least you get him to finish this, but then that'll be the last one he'll ever do.
Oh yeah, if he finishes this, he'll be like, "Fuck you! I finished it. I don't want to talk to you again."
Hmm.
You know.
I just personally, I've gotten to a point where I don't think there's value in like, in really art in general.
That's so bad.
I don't, maybe it's just my mood right now, but I'm just like, I used to be like, God, I gotta like feel bad. I haven't like listened to all the albums in this person's discography. I want to know all of it, but now I'm just like, I don't care. So yeah, so I don't
But
really
like,
read.
but you were being hyperbolic. You find value in art.
I guess, yeah, yeah.
You're like less inclined to try new shit. Maybe is
Yes,
like the new.
definitely, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I find less value in art, and also less inclined to try new shit. So yeah, but it's cool. It's an interesting book that it exists, I guess.
Yeah, I'm so glad it exists. A book like that needs to exist, I think.
Also, doesn't the book? I don't know that much about it, but I looked into it a little bit. It has all this like cuckoldry stuff. I'm not interested in that.
Does it?
I think so. I think he gets cheated on, but he's cool with it. And I'm just like, I don't know about this. That doesn't sound good.
That Yeah, that's kind of a turn off. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think it's actually kind of it was the cuck book, but yeah. Um, yep.
Fair though, but fair. Okay, let's do um uh I guess what's Steppenwolf? I have no idea.
I
Um
read the first page of this, or maybe first two pages.
Thoughts?
I don't know what it had to do with a wolf. I'm assuming from the cover that he turns into a wolf at some point, but it was really just a guy like renting an apartment. So, um,
Okay.
this is the same guy who wrote Siddhartha, which I did read because it was really short, and I liked that one. I thought it was pretty good.
Siddhartha. I haven't even heard of Siddhartha.
That's on this list as well.
Oh,
But yeah, that's the blue, like Buddha on the blue background, like dark blue. No, in the top left.
oh,
Yeah, yeah,
Herman Hesse.
yep. That one's worth reading, I think.
Hmm.
It's a very like hippie ethos. I mean, it came out around that, or at least it got translated around that time, and all the '60s. It was like, oh man, this like is us. But yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, I'm so down.
Yeah,
But yeah, Steppenwolf. This looks boring to me.
it's short though.
Hmm.
You're not into it. This is probably high on my like want to read, but I don't really know what happens in it, so I don't know anything about it. But yeah,
I don't know. It's that I don't know anything about it. Like, there's no draw,
yeah, that's
and like
fair.
what your little synopsis about him being in an apartment, being a wolf. It's like, is he a furry? I'm not interested.
I have no idea if he actually turns into a wolf. That might not happen at all. I have no idea. But
Probably
yeah,
a metaphor, like the wolf's inside or some bullshit. I don't know.
true. That's great.
Brett Easton Weston Ellis.
Is this good?
I've read, I think, approximately 20 pages of this, and I didn't like it at all.
Okay.
Um, I think the movie's probably better. I know Riley really likes this book.
hmm
Um,
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to say about it. I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of want to
Probably
read
like,
this.
yeah, it's like just because he's selling it so much, he's like, this is a great book, you got to read it. I kind of want to read it, but at the same time, it's like, from what I've read, I just don't know if it's going to be that interesting for me. It's almost between I have no opinion and I want to read it. It's like I kind of want to read it, but not really.
That seems like a good. I have no opinion.
Yeah,
Tier inclusion.
it's like, like the movie was so good.
Oh, the movie's
Um,
amazing. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. There's no real drive.
Yep.
The Iliad. Ooh, okay. I really want to read this.
I
This
don't
is
want
up
to read
there.
this. It's,
Why
it's
not?
like probably lowest on my list of want to read.
Just because it's so hard to understand.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get anything out of it. Even if you get it, I don't know. It's just like.
I
See,
think there's an attraction to looking at the early archetypal Greek stories, um, that concurrent stories derive. It seems like it's a worthy read, you know.
I guess. It seems like when people talk about the really interesting parts of it, it's more about like the construction and the way it's like there's like almost a music to the way the chapters and storylines line up. But that doesn't sound like a good thing to read for me. That just sounds like interesting, but like yeah, but and also yeah, I don't what's the this is the kind of book that makes me think like what's the point of books in general? Like why are you reading a book?
Isn't it just a collection of stories?
But what's the point of stories?
well, well, I imagine that each story has a moral,
I guess
but
yeah.
it's more complicated than like Aesop's fables. It's like a more time-stamped version of it. That also, I love the god aspects. I think that'd be really cool. Um, I really like the themes about like morality, as well as like if the gods chose this thing, do you have to abide by them? All this stuff. It's like I think it's really interesting.
Okay, okay. Is this on the same tier as Beyond Good and Evil? or no?
Um, you know what? Probably. Actually, yeah, I should probably put it there. Yeah, I think that's right. I
Okay.
think that's dead on.
Yep.
But did it? Do you want to pick one?
Can you put 2 666? So it's like 6 column, fourth row. Like if you go, no, so the not sixth row, sixth column, and then down to the fourth row. Like it's like
Oh, but rows of this, columns of that. Yep. Uh,
no. Oh yeah. Okay, you got it. Yep. Yeah, that was
this
it.
one.
No, to the right.
Yeah.
Just one to the
This
right.
one.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
I'm
What's
about
this one called?
2 666. It's about like it's in Mexico. I'm about 90% of the way through this, and
Ooh.
I think it's really good. Yeah, I think this is pretty awesome.
You think like here?
I think well, it's up to you. Yeah, I think you should read this when you get the chance. I think it's really good.
Awesome. 2 666. This is like the one that's like really murderous. There's a lot of murder.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, you were talking about this in the car when we were coming home from gym.
I think so. Yeah, yeah. It's split
Yeah.
into like 4 sections. Some of them are quite, or like 5 sections. I think some of them are quite boring, but some of them are really interesting. So yeah, yeah, it's pretty good.
Awesome. Fuck yeah, baby boy. Crying of Love 49. Ooh, have you
I
read
haven't read
this?
this. No, I think I read the first chapter because I did like the editing thing on it. Do you remember? Like the errors, like the grammar.
Oh, yes, I do remember that. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. This is one of the funniest books you could have chosen, like one of the best books you could have chosen for that because his fucking Pynchon's writing is so crazy and
yeah.
esoteric.
I just find that so annoying. I don't know why he does that, but yeah.
I kind of love his writing, but hate it for the same reason that I love it. And so at some points, if I get what he's trying to say, it's awesome. I feel like a genius. And then like when I don't understand it, I like hate him. And I'm like, you should just make this more simple.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
This one was especially cryptic. There was one scene. Well, there's so many scenes, but there's one scene where this like guy goes to a motel to hook up with someone, and they like look at the TV, and there's all this like old jargon because this was written in like what, like the 70s or like I don't know 60s or something like.
Right.
So they use like tube for like TV box or something like that, or like So he's looking at the tube over there, and it's like another hurdle you have to get over. So I guess that's kind of interesting, but it is also quite frustrating. But something will stick with me with this book. There's one description of like a car going down a road, and he's injected into the city as if the serum to a hypodermic needle or something like that. And it was just so illustrative for me. I was just like, that's such a good image. I love that.
Okay.
So I think it's got some really good shit in it. Though that being said, it's so artsy and hard to understand.
You're putting in B? You think it's as good as Clockwork Orange for you?
I think so.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really want to read this.
It is kind of short though. It's a very small book. I
That's
have like
true.
a third edition. I don't know. So if
That
you do
is
want to read it,
the biggest thing drawing me to it. Yeah, is that it's short. For
yeah.
sure.
What about fucking Lord of the Wrongs? Oh wait, is this The Hobbit?
I don't know.
I think it's got Smaug. So this is The Hobbit.
Okay, okay.
The Hobbit's fine. It's like kind of good.
I don't want to read it. I haven't read it.
It's fine. The movie is worse for sure.
Right,
The
yeah.
book is better. And my dad is like one of my dad's favorite books. He loves this book.
What?
I know.
What?
It's like fine. I don't know. That one's fine.
Yep.
Blood Meridian. All right. You want to
This is a good one.
I think it is. It's like not A though.
This is my A, probably. Not quite
Really?
my ass. Yeah, yeah. My ass.
My ass. For me, it's like a B. I think
What? What's wrong
there's
with
like there's amazing parts in it, but some of it is so goddamn boring. Like so
Like what?
boring. Like when he's like traversing the desert for the umpteenth time. Like now, with a new guy with a saw. Actually, the saw hand guy, that was cool. I like that part.
Yeah.
Um, it almost seems like the plot uh, meanders sort of like the kid does, and I
Yeah.
get that. It's cool. It's cool meta shit, but
No, that's
I
fair.
don't know. And it, have you seen The Master by that
Yeah,
guy?
I
What's it?
I didn't really
Yeah,
like it.
PTA. I really like that movie, but every time I go to watch it again, there are huge scenes that I like have to skip because I'm like, this is boring.
Yeah. Yeah, fair.
I don't know. Like, but there are so many. There are really good scenes in this. It's probably better than Lot 49. It's probably like top of B.
Bro, this is a good one. How is this worse than Slaughterhouse 5? What?
Dude, Slaughterhouse, it's good. It's good, baby.
Okay.
It's yummy. Let's Anthony Fantano. I don't
I,
know what
I
this
don't know
book
what this
is.
is either. Yeah.
Um, the Book of Disquiet, the complete edition.
Oh, okay, I've heard about this. People on Rhyme like this. Like, the guy like invented a bunch of like pseudonyms for himself, like characters of himself. And then I think this is written from one of them. I don't know. I think he skips around and stuff. It's like it's not that long, and it's like basically diary entries, I
I
believe.
don't really like books like that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why it's supposed to be good, but yeah, apparently it's good.
Looks boring.
Yeah, I'm not that interested.
Um, I'll do a White Noise. White Noise I've read. Have you read this book?
No, I'm not interested.
Is Don DeLillo. Uh,
So why
this
is
is
this
David
book
Foster
good?
Wallace's favorite writer of all time.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
I don't know. I actually found this really. It was kind of boring. It somewhat interesting. The plot kind of takes a U-turn at the end, which I was like, eh.
I like when they do that.
I don't. To me, it feels like they made up the ending at the end. Um, yeah, I have no opinion about it. It's like fine. It's about
Okay,
a family, and there's like this big chemical spillage from a train that explodes, and like starts raining like toxic shit. I don't know. And like the white noise, I think, is a metaphor for like the noise of death, and like it was something like that. I can't remember. It was
interesting.
fine. I don't know. I have no opinion. Um. Oh, this is my dad's favorite author, Umberto Eco.
I am kind of
Um.
interested in this.
Yeah, me too. I just know nothing about it. Do you know anything about it?
No,
Him
no,
or
no. I don't know anything about the
okay?
story. I don't know what it has to do with Rose. So yeah, there's this one, and then there's Foucault's Pendulum. I'm not sure if they're both on this list,
Ooh,
or if this one's supposedly better according to 4chan. I have no idea, but yeah.
interesting. The Holy Bible. This is probably. I don't want to read this, but I probably have to at some point.
Why? You
Um,
don't have to.
yeah, you do. Some things you just have to do.
I did have that opinion for a while. I was like, well, you got to read the Gospels at least. But it's just like, I don't know if you really do.
What if there's wisdom? What if I'm a Christian deep down?
I don't know. I don't really need wisdom other than like how to be safe, like how not to hurt yourself. You
You
know?
need like an instruction manual on like how to avoid the sun.
Yeah.
I think that it's definitely an interesting document compiling a bunch of different um like genres of books because they're not all this, like some are poetical, some are metaphorical, some are like historical. So it's like I like that a lot. I think there's so much shit you have to till through though, and there's a high chance that there are just like what is it? It's like numbers or something, where it's like statistics of shit. It's kind of boring. There are
Yeah.
large. I know from experience that there are large parts of this book that are boring.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, but there's got to be interesting shit, and probably interesting and also pertinent philosophical ideas. Um, I also find it interesting that these books were made by people way back then, and in a way compiled by those same people. So it shows sort of the thought patterns of those people over time. I like that as a historical document. I think
Hmm.
it's interesting,
Hmm.
sort of metafictionally to look back on what other people thought.
You know, that's a
But
good
yeah.
point. Yeah, I actually, the small parts of this, because I read the shortest book in the Bible, Ruth, and it actually is pretty
Mm.
influential on me because I think about like how how fucked up it is and everything. How just like, why these rules are so stupid and everything. So yeah, I guess that is interesting.
Mm. It is long though. It's so long.
I think I'm more interested in this than the Iliad. But I definitely wouldn't read. I definitely wouldn't read the whole thing. Just like pick some good parts for me.
Yeah, maybe that's the go. Maybe just pick the best bits.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings. Haven't read it. Um, Probably should read it.
Ah, I don't really want to
The,
either.
yeah, neither because I feel like the movies were so good. I like the movies a
I don't
lot.
really like the movies. I feel like but
Ah, what?
the worst part about the movies is probably the direction. So at least if you don't have the direction, then it might be better.
Did I like? You didn't like the direction? Did you think it
No,
was too hammy
it's
or
so
something?
goofy. Yeah, yeah. It's
It's
like a
kind of.
children's TV show. Like there's so many shots of people like being shocked or like laughing for like half a second.
I love those shots when they're in the bar. It's like all the hobbits come in and they're like in the town of Wook or whatever the fuck, and then it's like, "Wah, roof, roof."
Yeah, it's so goofy.
I love it.
I can't believe he got the job to direct Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson. Like
Well,
compared
yeah,
with
his other films were shit. Like he
uh,
did like some when he did some body horror stuff, some like really
yes,
cheap New Zealand films.
I
It was
watched
so funny.
yeah, Brain Dead. The yeah,
Yeah, yeah, right there.
it's just so goofy. Yeah, it just seems like an Australian like really low budget. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think, especially Return of the King is like such a good movie.
Okay.
So fucking good. Um, Naked, the restored text lunch. Naked lunch. I have no idea. Uh,
Cronenberg made a movie out of this.
oh really?
So I think it's sort of surreal, but I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
Yep.
Neither. Fuck it. No opinion. Uh,
This looks so
Pension.
boring, dude.
Yeah, doesn't this look unbelievably boring?
Why would you write a super long book about just like early America? That just seems incredibly boring.
Is it about like the North and South, like the Revolution?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Although Civil War, pardon me. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, boo. Who cares? Hamlet is probably. I read this, but I read it in high school, so I didn't really read it. So it's probably here.
Hmm.
I need to
Okay.
read it again.
Hmm.
But this really interests me for for interesting reasons that I think are that you'll probably like scoff at and be like, boo.
I guess
Um,
I understand being more interested in this rather than the Iliad and the Bible. Like these ones actually have, I think, interesting things to say about the relationships between people, but it's too boring for me.
yeah, I find that with a lot of shit. I agree, like with the Shakespeare stuff. You know that there's good shit in there. I don't know if it's just a matter of my not having the patience to deal with the Shakespearean language and the lack of moving plot. Because Shakespeare's plots are like bullshit. They don't do anything. um, yeah, but I think it's a really potentially deep book. Book play. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Um, Brothers Karamazov really want to read. Probably will be here. Like from all accounts, it's like amazing.
I got like 100 pages into it. It was okay, but it was pretty boring.
Really?
Yeah. I like the way he
Shit.
talks about people. I like the way people just react so strongly in these books. Like whenever anything happens, just like weeping and like shit like that. Just like when they go crazy, they're like laughing and jumping all over shit and everything like that. And everyone's just like, "Oh, he's going crazy again." And like there's like an
I
evil
like that.
character, and he's just like ridiculously evil, like just to an insanely goofy degree.
I love that. I love just evil shit.
Yeah, I do like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's probably very good. It's just a bit, I do want to finish it, but yeah.
We should read it. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. What's What is the periodic table one? The fuck is that?
Yeah, I hardly know anything about this one.
The elementary particles.
This is,
Is this a meme?
I think this is about the Holocaust somehow, or at least it's by a Holocaust survivor. I'm not really sure. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Oh no, this I'm thinking of a different one. No, this is the like Islamophobe. I don't know if it's about that. This guy seems insane. I can't. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Part Bret Easton Ellis, so you're gonna love it.
Off of Champion Love, Billy Caustic.
Yeah, this seems like the least
What?
interesting thing to me ever.
Uh,
Yeah.
it sounds kind of actually. It could be really good. I kind of want to
France
read it.
France has this like yeah, all the just like super depressing
Yeah,
books. I don't know.
I think it could be really good. I really like depressing books.
Okay.
Les Miserables. I know the musical, bro. Musical's one of the best musicals ever made.
Dude, if you're
Um,
reading this, you're just gonna be singing it all the time.
yeah,
That's
can
gonna
you
be
hear the people singing the song? I think I don't know how the book holds. I don't know what the style it's made in. I don't know. I have no idea.
I
No
want to
idea.
read this. I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the musical?
No.
What?
Is it just the movie?
No. It's a Broadway show. So it's not
Okay,
been the
okay.
movie,
Okay.
but it's incredible. It's like one of it is. I think it is the best Broadway show.
Okay.
Like straight up. Okay. Um, Virginia Woolf.
Which one's this?
The Waves. I have no
Interesting.
opinion.
Yeah,
I
neither.
seriously don't care.
This looks very boring.
It kind
Um,
of looks boring. I have an opinion about it.
and it's gonna be hard. Um,
Yeah, probably.
which is just probably you're gonna like it for that reason. But yeah.
If it's hard and interesting, I like it like I like my sex. It's got to be hard and interesting.
Nice.
What about this one looks really cool. I don't know what it is though.
This is another depressing French book.
Have you read it?
I think I read 2 pages of this, and he's very angry at the start, at least. He's
The
just like,
journey to the end of the night.
yeah, I'm not really interested.
What the hell, man?
It has to be in the same tier as the elementary particles because they remind me of each other. But yeah,
Okay. What's this Pigeon Man?
this is I think only 4chan likes this book. No one else cares about it.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
It might be incredibly racist then.
yeah.
I can't find it.
Because okay,
Oh.
so not that many people vote on these lists. So if you get 4 people to vote for the same book, it'll be in the top 100. So I think some people do that. Just like they're like fans of this guy.
I don't know what it is, but it's called Hunger. Actually, I guess we're just judging by the cover. We don't know anything about it. We're just judging by the cover. The cover looks interesting.
It's by Nut Hamsun.
Nut,
Yep.
bro. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Um,
Have you read this?
South American writer, right? What's his name? Fucking
I don't know.
100 Years of Solitude. I've heard a lot about this. Apparently, it's a really big book, like multi-generational.
But like, what's the point?
Apparently,
Like, what? Why is this interesting? I really don't understand.
from what I can tell, it's like it's about a family. It's like about a royal. It's kind of like War and Peace, I guess, a little bit in the fact that it's talking about a royal family. I think it's royal, and then it shows the generational differences between them. Like the book takes place in like 3 time periods or something. I don't know if the order of it's diachronic, but I think it could be really good.
Okay.
I think it looks in. I want to read it. Oh my God, The Pale King. All right, we'll do one from David Foster Wallace narrowed down.
What? Oh,
So he's
this
made
is.
two on the list.
I had no idea this was in the top 100.
It's, apparently, I didn't just insert this. I promise. Like it is in the list. Um, this book is really good. It's A, but if it was finished, it'd probably be S. But it wasn't finished. So,
What's wrong with it?
the ending is unsatisfying because you didn't write an ending.
Okay.
Um, it's unbelievably boring in parts,
Okay.
but the gimmick is it's supposed to be really boring. So the boring parts end up being interesting because you know that fact.
Okay.
And there start to be like really interesting correlations in the boring stuff. Like he talks about tax code and numbers appear multiple times correlating, which I find interesting. Especially if the correlation is itself not just like for the sake of putting two numbers together. There is some sort of connection. There's a very weird spiritual theme in this book. Like the tax, what is it? Not the ATO. What's the equivalent in America? It's like the
Yeah, I don't remember.
uh
What is that? Yeah.
fuck, can't remember. The IRS. That's
Oh,
what it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
The IRS have their like this is real in the real world that their HQ in Illinois is like the postcode is like 666 or something like that, or like
That's
their address is 666.
what the hell.
I know. And there's like ghosts and shit that appear in this book, but it's so real. So much of the book is real. Also important to note that this is autobiographical fiction, which is such a weird genre. Like it's the first book I've read of that genre. So at some point you don't know what's real and what's not. That's really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's also kind of frustrating because you don't know what to believe. And yeah, there's something really, really fucking sad about this book. And the fact that David Foster Wallace himself is a character. He goes into the IRS, which really happened.
Mm-hmm.
He was there for like a couple of years or something. And then there's a weird error where there's actually two David Foster Wallaces in the book. One of whom is the author, and one of whom is like this like level 10 super tax genius guy. And David Foster Wallace on his first day at the IRS gets confused with this really genius guy and gets like a blowjob from this woman immediately, which is awesome.
That is sick.
But then the character David Foster Wallace, meaning the author himself, gets erased in the book because it's like a merging error where the two become one. And then like shortly after this, like while he was writing this, he killed himself. And a lot of the book is about like death and about like not existing. It's unbelievably depressing in a way that I don't think is like possible to do without like with the author being around. There's something so disturbing about it, I think.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
But it's super interesting. Like there's this one scene where this guy is just like talking to this girl in a booth in a cafe. And then they're talking about just like some really boring story. And then the guy just starts levitating off his seat about like 2 inches.
What?
But the girl doesn't notice. She's just like, oh, he seems a little taller. And then they just continue the conversation. And none of it is explained. None of it. None of it.
Okay.
Which is Lynchian. And I don't know why it doesn't bother me.
Probably because he seems cooler in his interviews.
I think it's that. But Lynch is so cool in his interviews.
But you don't like the fact that he's like, it doesn't have to mean anything. It's like a dream.
Yeah. I hate putting in meaning.
Yeah.
Anyway, super good book. You should read it at least. It's very good.
Okay.
Dune. Have you seen Dune? Have you
haven't
read Dune?
No. I guess I want to, but it's like, I don't know what the point of it is. Whenever people talk about the interesting things about this book, they're like, oh, it's about power and the different ways that people come into power. And I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
What does that matter?
It's something interesting, no?
I guess.
The world is interesting. The politics is somewhat interesting, but apparently can fly up its own ass a couple times.
Okay.
I still want to read it though. My girlfriend also gave me a copy of this book, so I feel like I have to read it.
That's very cool.
Um, what are you?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter. This looks boring, and I don't want to read it.
How did this make the list? It must be jokers. Must be people who are
I
kidding.
guess. I think so.
Um, yeah, I read it when I was a kid, and I liked it then.
How did you find it?
I
Okay.
liked it when I was a kid, but yeah, I don't know if that. I mean, now when I see snippets of her writing, it's like, holy shit, this is
I
bad.
know. I know.
Just so many adverbs. Um, yeah, whatever.
Yep. Lolita. This book is actually gross. I did not like this book.
Because of the pros, right?
I thought the prose was actually like funny.
No, dude.
Like Humbert Humbert, you know.
That is cool. That's a cool name.
It's a sick name. Obviously a pedophile book, but um yeah, I don't know. The marketing of this book is really weird because like I saw this video about the covers of Lolita, and it was like a lot of the covers had this like tagline, and it was like the greatest love story ever told. And it's like this is not a love story. This is like a really dark, humorous. It's like Nabokov. He's like the father of dark humor, or black humor, or African American humor,
Hmm.
and it's like really disturbing. This guy lusts after a 13-year-old girl. It's no good. Who he calls a nymphette, I think.
But it's her fault.
Yeah, it's all her fault. Guys, it's her fault.
I do think that's awesome to just write a book like that.
It is. It's kind of insane. You
I just,
definitely couldn't write this now because you would just be jailed.
but why is it so popular now?
That's what I want to know. I don't understand.
So I
Like the
think you
writing
could.
is, it's good, but I don't know.
I think you could write this now, especially because
Ah,
people are even less conservative and everything. They're okay with kids seeing more weird shit.
but this is like explicitly about pedophilia.
Yeah, it doesn't. It certainly doesn't happen often.
Like, what
Um,
publishing house would touch this? I guess is what I'm saying. You could write this.
I don't know. If you start off as Nabokov, if you're just like apparently a really good up and coming writer, and then you put this together, I think you possibly could. But yeah,
It is a funny book. It's like it's gross, but it's like not gross but disgusting. It's not like bad.
no, I feel like yeah. If this was not written in such a smarmy, like annoying, overly complicated way, I would actually really like it.
Isn't that stuff as though it's supposed to be read ironically though? Yes, that's the whole point of the book.
I think yeah, he's trying to write it like like the asshole who's the main character, but that doesn't make it any
Yeah,
better. It's still annoying. Also, I think most of his writing is like that, so it doesn't like excuse him.
I wouldn't know.
I just like yeah, it's God. I just hate this kind of overly complicated prose.
Well, fair, fair, fair. Yeah. All right. What about Kafka on the Shore, which is a book that Kira lent me.
Hmm.
Um, that I haven't read. That apparently she got from you.
Yep.
Have you read this book?
No, I bought it for I think because it involves a cat, and I was like, oh, Kira likes that.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about it. Yeah, really.
It looks interesting. I think it'll be good. This one, Dawn of the Sun
I
of the
think I think
New
this is my
Sun.
S. Yeah, this is my favorite. I think.
This looks so unappealing to me. I don't want to read
What?
this at all.
Yeah, because you just don't like sci-fi or fantasy, right? Is that sort of it?
No, well, I like a certain amount of sci-fi and fantasy,
Dude,
but
you're gonna love it then. This is literally like
you think?
this is the best that sci-fi could possibly be. Because the problem with sci-fi is they have great ideas, but they can't write. Like, and I feel
Yes.
like that's the problem with 1984 as well. But like this is just he's an incredible writer. He's an amazing just at putting together sentences. Just it's amazing. He's like among the best I've ever
Ooh,
read, and then it's got all these cool sci-fi ideas as well. And I just it just
wow.
the ideas, just the characterization, just it is kind of meandering, I guess, in the same way that Blood Meridian is. But there's just so many like interesting interactions with people. The main character is so weird, so incredibly weird. So yeah, it's unbelievably good. It's like it's such a
Okay,
surprise that
wow.
this book exists.
It's such a. Didn't know you even liked this book that much. That's crazy.
Why is it? Why does it seem uninteresting for you?
Doesn't it? Doesn't it? I'm literally judging a book by its cover. It looks like it was written by a 13-year-old.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
Well, with your endorsement, it now sounds interesting.
Yep.
The Old Man in the Sea. Ooh, me. I don't like Hemingway's praise at all. Prose at all. I don't like it. It was boring. I think this book is kind of boring.
I only got like 20 pages in, but you think it's bad.
Yeah, I don't think it's good. It's not disgusting, but it's like it's fine. Actually, it might be No, it's fine. You know, I know he's like, oh, he's the master of simple shit, which is wrong. That's Raymond Carver is the master of simple shit. This guy's
What
like
did he write?
fine. He wrote a bunch of short stories. He wrote mostly plays,
Okay. I don't know.
but they're really good.
Okay.
Divine Comedy. I want to read, and I think it'll be an S when I read it. I think it's gonna be like one of the best books.
Yeah, dude, poetry. Oh my god, I don't want to read poetry.
But it's like, first of all, it's like storytelling poetry, which is like way better. It's the best poetry, I think.
Mm.
I hate poetry where it's like, oh, I'm looking out my window and it's raining and I want to cut my wrists. That's like the worst. But this is like, yummy, going to hell.
I don't know, dude. This seems incredibly boring. But maybe.
What about is this Dante? The Divine Comedy? Who's
Yeah.
Dante?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Dante. Yeah. Never mind. Never my mind. Dee 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 dee. Thus spoke. What?
Is that Nietzsche?
Thus spoke Zarathustra.
Yeah, this is
I
Nietzsche
don't
as
know.
well.
Oh, okay, I have no idea. Looks boring.
Why do you want to read the other Nietzsche, but not this one?
Yes.
I think one of these is a story. Is the other one a story?
I don't think this is a story.
Okay, I think then this one must be a story. I think. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's philosophy. I'm not really interested. Yes.
You know what? I have no opinion.
Okay, yeah.
Picture of Dorian Gray. This looks really boring. I don't want to read it.
What's this one?
It's like about this guy who has a painting of himself in his attic, and like he doesn't age, but the painting does, and then they stab the painting or whatever.
What?
It's such a, like he's like a vampire kind of aristocrat guy. I'm not interested at all.
Okay.
A Brave New World. This book is disturbing. I think
Yeah,
it's a B.
I haven't finished this. I think I got like 4 pages in.
Yeah. Oh, dude. You're like, that's like the best part. The best part of the book is the beginning. It's
Oh,
so
really?
fun.
When he's talking about
Yeah.
like how they make the babies and stuff like that.
Exactly, like how they condition people. It's so fucked.
Oh, so it gets worse.
It gets more boring.
Yeah.
I think
Okay. Yeah.
he did all the good shit at the beginning, like in the world building. You're like, this is awesome, and it's like, all right, we get your point. Yeah.
Okay.
But Aldous Huxley, obviously, big writer, big book. His idea about soma being the drug that you take once, it like gives you, like it makes you elated, and then 2 makes you drowsy, 3 puts you to sleep for 2 days or something. That's like interesting. I like that. Forward-thinking guy. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but okay. From the tiny bit I read, it struck me as similar to 1984 in the fact that maybe it has interesting ideas, but the writing's just not great.
I think you're right. I think yeah. A lot of these like writers write. I don't know. They're more interested in the story than the sentences. Maybe it's like is a thing.
Yeah. Could be.
Catcher in the Rye. Have you read this?
Nope. I don't really know anything about this. I guess I'm interested because it's like a reasonable length.
Yeah. What is it, like 300 or something?
I think it's around 100,000 words. It's like a typical book. But I don't know. I have no idea what even happens. The only thing I know about this book is that guy who killed John Lennon liked it.
Yeah, that's right. They found a copy of it or something.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's about, I think it's about a drift, like not a drifter, but a guy that's just like really shitty and he like just hates people. Um,
Okay.
the metaphor is like about he's looking over like in a dream, he's like looking at a field of wheat like on a hill, and then he like falls into it, and then he like someone catches him or something like that, and then they're the catcher in the rye, something like that. I didn't fully understand this book, nor did I really try to read it because I read it in school. Um, it's kind of boring. I don't know. Just like, uh,
This is the same tier as Blood Meridian. That's crazy.
I think here it's probably amazing if I actually read it properly.
Mm.
But I'm not. I like. I don't want to. You know what I mean? I don't. I have no motivation.
Okay.
Um, War and Peace. Karamunjatsa.
Bro, this looks so boring.
Yeah, it does. It does. It looks so unbelievably boring.
This is crazy.
But but I think it could be really good. I don't know. We'll see.
I think this has cuck themes as well.
Fuck, what's with these cocks, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
These cuckmen. Um, JR. I have no idea. I have no opinion. You know this?
This is one of those. Who is this guy? This is like. He's one of those, like, William Gass people. I think his name's Gaddis. Like, he writes
Oh,
annoying long things.
he
I
read the
think.
recognitions. Um,
I might be wrong. Do you want to just check?
yeah, William Gaddis. Yeah,
Okay, okay,
I really want to read the recognitions. It's sitting on my shelf. It's like
okay.
his big book.
Hmm.
But I know nothing about this. If it's Gaddis, I kind of want to read it.
I remember.
Uh, yeah, go on.
I think it's this one has the famous first line where he's like, uh, I don't know. It's not even dialogue. He's just talking to the reader or something, and he's like, "You want justice? In the next life, you get justice. In this life, you have the law, or something like that." And I was like, "Damn, that's pretty
Oh,
badass." But
that's awesome.
it seems like an annoyingly written book. But yeah, that might that might be a different book.
Okay.
So it's good.
That being said, but I just said may not be accurate
I
at
think
all.
it is a different book. Okay, wait. In this world, you get the law.
I like it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I
that's
don't
a
know.
different William Gaddis book. Okay, never mind.
Is it the recognitions?
No, it's A Frolic of His Own.
Oh man, he rolls his own frolic. Moby Dickinson. I
Yeah,
don't want to read this at all.
I remember
Looks
lying to
boring.
people about having read this. Um, I've listened to two-thirds of the audiobook, but I feel like
Yeah,
the problem with audiobooks for me is like you can just drone out. Like if you're driving while listening to an audiobook, you might just miss half an hour, and then you're like, "What the fuck is happening?" Just because you think about other things or whatever.
yeah,
Um,
100%. This seems like the book that it would do that the most. No.
so maybe that's the best way to read it. Is just to tone it out. But I love the attitude. I feel like he's much more optimistic and positive. He just feels like he loves life. And he's talking about these things that seem really difficult, but he's just like I don't know. He's just like cuddling with his friend, and then they're just on the sea for like a year and a half. But he's like, wow, it's really meditative and stuff like that and peaceful. So I didn't finish it and I missed huge amounts of it. But I was like, this seems really good, um, and it would be something I would like to finish at some point. But I think the whole act of trying to understand what every word means would be super tedious. I feel like
Yeah,
it'd only be worthwhile if you just skipped over any sentence that didn't mean anything to you.
yeah.
I think he has a beautiful way of writing.
Ah,
Dude,
see,
this is
I haven't
how
read
is
any Herman Melville.
dude,
I
how
don't
is this
know.
so low?
Well, it's like
What?
I talked to people who have read it, and they said yes, it's about whaling. It's like the metaphor of him chasing like ambition is like interesting, but that's like 2% of the book. The other 98 is like sperm whales migrate to this
Dude,
depth in the ocean.
that's like 2 chapters or something from what I got through. Like the way he explains, and even that stuff is interesting because it's not scientific at all. He's just like, I remember one part where he says like this whale is the cane of the ocean or something, and he's like explaining some shit like that. And I'm like, this is kind of fun. I don't know, and yeah, all the shit where like his black friend is so good at harpooning. He's just like the best, and like I don't know all that shit. He's like, oh man, there are some very boring parts. I don't think. I don't even know if I'll finish it in my lifetime or even try again. But like, I was like, I feel like if you're gonna, I feel like this is a worthwhile one to push yourself to.
Ah, like on one hand, I hear you. On the other hand, I sort of know how this book ends.
I don't know how it ends.
Really?
Does
I won't
Ahab
ruin it
die?
then. No, I'm not going to say. I won't
Okay.
say anything. And I feel like with a slog like this, it is sort of it's making you take the journey to get to the end. Whereas, and you might say, well, a book like Infinite Jest that does the same thing. It's like, well, no, it doesn't, because that book has like interpretive endings, and you get to kind of decide how it ends. You get to assume based on stuff. Meaning it's worth a reread. With this one, I feel like the slog is like you're going to pick up some factoids about whales and like boating. That's kind of interesting, I guess, but I don't know.
But let's assume that this, however boring the plot is, which I don't think it's that bad, but like that this is the most beautiful prose that's ever been put together. Because I think it's a candidate.
Is it really?
I
Do
think
you
it's so
really think so?
perfectly put together, and maybe poetry out there is better. But like as far as prose goes, I feel like it's so incredibly nice. And then like if okay, let's say it was, what tier would it be in that case?
If it had really, really good prose,
Like the best.
if it was like tiers, it's like how interested I am reading it. The best prose, probably then A.
But it's also a kind of boring plot because I think that's what it is.
I'm okay with the plot sort of being. Is it worth it? Do you think?
Yeah,
For
and
real?
also I think he's a very thoughtful guy. I think he has a number of very interesting thoughts about his life in general. And it's not just ambition. Like this, I don't know. I think there's just a huge amount of asides that are very interesting.
Okay. All right. You convinced me. I now am interested in reading. Faust. I haven't read it. Really want to read it. Famous book.
Yeah, this looks pretty boring.
But it's like the first make a deal. It's the deal or no deal.
Yeah, it's on the same tier as like the Divine Comedy and the Iliad for me. Just like
Really?
things that were influential. I don't know.
All right. The Savage Detectives.
This is by the 2666 guy.
Roberto.
Balano.
Yeah, Bolano. Looks boring. I don't care about it.
Why? What's wrong?
It's literally the cover looks bad.
I think he's a good writer though, so yeah, I might give it a shot.
All right. The Gate Gratsby. This book was B tier.
So I'm about 10% of the way in. Do you think I should read the other 90%?
Oh, it's definitely worth it.
Okay.
At least get to the poster. The ending is also really, really good and has inspired my own book to a certain degree, a lot. The ending.
Okay.
But it's kind of there's some boring bits. It's also kind of gay as a book, which is fine. But it's kind of like, we're in the city, everyone's having fun, make out with dudes kind of thing. It's like it's fine.
I like that a lot.
Dude, this might be your favorite book then. The Tunnel by William Gass. Am currently reading. Right now, it's like E tier. It's so unbelievably frustrating.
Is there a possibility it will end up in E tier once you finish it?
Yeah, there's a possibility. I feel like it's going to end up in like A once I start to understand it. But right now, it's just giving you ideas. It's like with all these books.
Hello?